Welcome back, guys. I obviously love Mr. Poopy Butthole. How you doing, bud? I want to start off this video with showing off my new baby boy, Cheddar. You wish you named your cat Cheddar. Don't even lie. So this is my new baby boy, Cheddar. He just always wants to attack me, or just cuddle me, or it's attack, cuddle, or sleep. That's it. I've worked in the service industry for a long time. Can you stop? Can you actually stop? I lost my train of thought. Oh, the type of things that people say to you is honestly ridiculous. So let's just start off with this one guy. It was a really busy day in the summer. Cheddar, you're shaking my entire setup. So we have inside and outside seating and bars and whatnot. It would have been like a 3-hour wait for this table to sit outside because there was like 18 of them. So like I need a big enough table, you know, whatever. They're like, well, how fast can you get us inside? And luckily enough, we were able to sit them immediately inside, so they took the inside table. Well, they didn't care to watch their children. For some reason, they thought, like, they could just let their kids run all over the place. And, like, I understand if it's, like, you know, a 13-year-old, sure, they can watch themselves. But, like, they were letting, like, little kids run around. Like, I think one of them was, like, 3 or 4. And that one is his son, coincidentally. And that one dropped his shoe in the river. Now, I'm running around like crazy, like, seating people and doing whatever I can to help out and, like, make the restaurant flow. And just in the middle of walking through the restaurant, this guy walks up to me, he grabs me, he's like, hey, so my son dropped his shoe in the river. Can you go fish it out? Just like blank face, like serious as all hell. I don't even know what to say at this point, honestly. I just look him in the face and I'm just like, I can't reach it. Like, I don't know if he was asking me to jump in the river, but I'm not doing that. That way I have to work all day in river clothes? No. No. Is he dumb? No. No. So I'm just like, I can't reach it. I'm sorry. And he was like, well, do you have anything you use to, like, get people's stuff out of the river? And I'm just like, no. He was like, well, can you double check with, like, your manager? And I'm like, sure. So I walk up to my manager, and I'm like, hey, this guy, his son dropped his shoe in the river, and he asked me to fish it out. My manager is just cracking up laughing. Like, she heard this much, and she's just cracking up laughing as if it's the funniest thing. I'm still sitting here like, I have no idea what to do. And, like, honestly, I can't blame her. If I was in her place, I probably would have been dying laughing too. Because I would have just been like, what? Are you kidding me? Throw him in the river. Get his own shoe. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's nothing you can do. He didn't watch his son. His son dropped his shoe in the river, and now he wants you to go get it? Like, no, dude. He should have watched his own kid. He's stupid. Now you're just being mean. I walk back up to him. I'm like, so I asked my manager, we don't have anything we can use. They did say if you wanted to go get the shoe, we're not going to stop you. You're more than welcome to go into the river and get the shoe. And so, yeah, I just walked away at that point. He was like, okay. I think it was my manager. I know he walked up to someone else and asked them. And I'm just like, you know what? It's too busy. Like, they're just going to tell him the same thing. Like, no, I'm not getting your son's shoe for you. You can go get it. So I'm going to move on. That's the end of that story. Yo, Cheddar. If you're going to play like that, let me put my sleeves down. And then you can just claw and bite. And I don't care because you don't hurt me. So he knows to go up the sleeve. He's a smart one. Watch, watch. Never mind. Let's just call him Latte Guy. Now, I'm not gonna... This is at a different place. I was working at a cafe. Like a coffee shop, more or less. So, this guy decided that he was gonna come through the drive-thru and order a drink for his girlfriend. He wanted a latte. Cool. But he wanted... It was a specific type of, like, tea latte thing. He wanted extra of the powder that is used to make it. And I'm like, okay, well, the only way I can do that is by using a whole nother package or like trying to guess about how much you want, and I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to add a whole nother package. Is that okay? He said yes. So I make the drink, he pulls up to the window, I hand it to him, and he hands it to his girlfriend in the passenger seat, who still hasn't said a word. He pays for the drink, and she hands it back to him, and he's like, there's not enough in here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, there's not enough of the powder, like of the drink powder in here. Can you make me another one, or can you add some to it? I was like, if you want, I'll just add another package to this one. And he was like, and I'll re-steam it. And he was like, sure, that's fine. So I remake it. Or I add another package. And he didn't like it, so I remade it with 3 packages. I'm like, okay, well, maybe this time, you know, I don't know. Maybe something happened with the steamer or something, so it didn't mix completely because it's already hot. I don't know. So I remade it with 3 packages of the, like, mix. And I hand it to him, and he hands it to his girlfriend. And she hands it back to him immediately. And at this point, he's cursing at me and yelling at me. And I'm like, sir, I don't know how much of this powder you expect me to put in the drink. It's just going to get gross. It's just going to get gross and oversweet. And it's just not going to taste good. And I mean, I'll remake it if you want. I'm doing whatever, you know. And he's cursing me out, saying, like, how do you not know how to make the drink? And I'm like, because you gave me, like, special instructions that you don't even know what you're telling me to do. Like, if you knew, like, hey, can you put in 4 packages? I'd be like, sure. Like, of course. But if you're just saying, can you add extra, and you don't know how much extra, like, that's not my fucking fault. I just closed the window and walked away. I made the drinks and handed it to him to make sure that he was getting it how he wanted it. Like, I wasn't working the register or anything. So, yeah, so I just went back to making drinks. I was like, fuck this. Like, he can pull away. He did. He just, like, drove off, like, super fast. I didn't even get to walk completely away from the window. Like, he didn't even know if I was going to remake it or anything. Like, he just pulled away, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. Next thing I know, the guy is storming inside the cafe and yelling at me in front of a whole bunch of people who are inside and like cursing at me. And he's like, what is your name? And I did have a name tag and I covered it, like, thank God. I just, because he was crazy. I can't even, like, he was legit, like, screaming and going red in the face over a drink. How do you get so upset over a drink? Just how? Just tell me honestly how. You don't. Unless you're like a fucking alcoholic. I'm a caffeine-holic. I still don't freak out over my coffee. Not like that. Anyhow, so I cover my name tag, and he's just like, what's your name? What's your name? Like, tell me your name. And I'm like, no, fuck you, dude. You're coming in here yelling at me, cursing at me. You've been cursing at me for... He was like, well, you just cursed at... And he's cursing me out again. He's like, you just cursed at me. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you're the one who started... I was like, dude, you've been screaming at me since the first drink I made you. I've made you 4 by now. I'm not doing this again. And I just walked back to my manager's office and sat in her office, and I turned to her, and I'm just like... I have a lot of girl managers. I just realized this. I turned to her and I'm just like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, you can't hear him? There's this guy who was cursing me out in the drive-thru, and now he came inside and started cursing at me out, and I've done everything I could to help him, and it got to the point where I accidentally said, no, fuck you, dude, because I was so upset and so, like, threatened, and... Like, there's just, now he's going even worse, and I didn't even meet, and she's just like, I'll handle it, don't stress. Like, he's just a crazy person, it happens all the time. Dude. Like, dude, and if you are gonna be specific, come inside. See what I'm doing, tell me what you think I should or shouldn't do, work with me here. Do not start cursing me out and yelling at me. For all you know, next thing I'm gonna do is spit in your fucking drink, you piece of shit. Ugh, I hate people. I think I have time for one more. I kind of want to go to, like, a different... Okay. So this one's going to hit some bases. Trigger warning. I am sorry. I was pissed off at these people. I hope you don't get upset with me, because it has to do with race. I was pissed off at these other people, and I hope you listen and understand why. So I was working at another cafe, a different cafe. This is when I lived in a whole different state and whatnot, more towards the south. It was like getting late. It was getting late. It was me and one other person in the cafe at that point working. Like that was it. We had like a couple of people come in like every 10 minutes. That was pretty much it. This group of 2 ladies and 1 man walked inside. And like we treated them just like we would anyone. We made their drinks and I put them at the pickup counter and they're all standing at, like, I'm making the drinks. My shift leader at the time, he was like ringing them up and having them pay for it. I made the drinks, I put them at the pickup counter, and I turned away because I heard someone come through the drive-thru, so I was gonna go help them. Next thing I know, they had taken the drinks from the pickup counter and was now claiming that they already paid. And my shift leader's like, you didn't already pay. Here's where the race comes in. It's 2 white bitches and 1 chill black guy, but they're all together in one group. They're now screaming and cursing at us, once again over drinks. What is wrong with people? I just don't understand what's going on. Like, I'm helping people in the drive-thru and I hear this going on and I'm like, okay, let me go help. And next thing I know, I realize that they are cursing my shift leader out, calling him racist and all of this stuff. This is the 2 ladies, by the way. The 1 man, I didn't hear him say a single word except for what he ordered for his drink, right? Like, I got to the point where I think he was, like, embarrassed to be with them. Because he was, like, walking away from them and just, like, hiding his face. And was just like, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm just like, oh, my God. And these 2 fat, white bitches are cursing out my shift leader. And calling him racist. And saying that he's, like, a white supremacist. And all this crazy shit. All because they didn't pay for their drinks. And they can't even open their eyes to realize, oh, hey, we actually didn't pay for our drinks. He's not accusing us of stealing. We are technically stealing right now. And I don't even know if they were just trying to get it for free and hoping that, like, they brought a black guy, so calling us racist will just be like, whatever, take the drinks. But, like, I have nothing against him. He was a cool guy. He was, like, chill. He was, you know, relaxed, calm. He didn't once yell. He didn't once say a curse word. He didn't once call us racist. My shift leader's like, I don't care. You didn't pay for the drink. I'm getting fed up with your shit. You can leave or I'm calling the cops. I'm walking to the phone now. If you're not outside by the time I get back, I'm calling the cops. And sure enough, he went, got the phone, came back. They were gone. I'm now working the drive-thru again. And my shift leader is just like sitting there. He's like, I need a cigarette. So he goes out and smokes a cigarette. Fine, whatever. I can hold everything down by myself. Like, that's not sarcasm. Like, I can do my job. That's fine. You go take a cigarette break. You were just being cursed out by 2 white people being called racist. And so next thing I know, one of the ladies walked back inside. And like, my shift leader had gotten back by this point, and she was like, we never paid for our drinks. And we were like, yeah, we know. Like, why are you back? And she was like, to pay for them. I didn't realize that we actually didn't pay. Bitch, what do you think we were trying to tell you? Like, what? What? And she actually only paid for her drink. We made money off of 1 out of the 3 drinks, but like, they still technically got 2 for free. Like, whatever. Those are some of the craziest stories I have from working in the customer service area, field, whatever you want to call it. If you guys really like this video, you should totally leave a like, a thumbs up, you know what I mean? You should subscribe, hit the bell icon, that way you can get notifications when I upload a new video, which I'm trying to upload one every single week. Hey! You should comment down below if you have any stories of your own. Maybe I'll do like a video where I talk about like other people's crazy restaurant stories, you know? Just like leave me a little short story and maybe you could get in my video and I'll just read it. It would be cool. Yeah. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this, and I think that is about it. Bye.